What's up, Scott? This is James, and I just want to say thank you, man. I'm sending you this message because I know you hear it all the time, but you don't hear it all the time from me. Sometimes me and you are back and forth. We talk on Twitter, and when I see you face to face, sometimes I'm just like so excited that I don't get everything out that I want to get out. Last time I seen you was September 9th down in Durham, North Carolina. You and I, we spoke before the concert, of course, at your sound check. Once again, thanks for Jocelyn for getting me and Letitia backstage for that sound check and letting me get the chance to hang out with you. But also after the concert, next to the tour bus, we had about a 5-minute conversation actually, and I walked away with that with a new appreciation that I started to lose there for a while. Ever since early '97, when you came into my life has changed, and it's because of you that I'm on this path that I'm on. I was a lost 19-year-old kid when I met you, Scott, and I stood in front of you, and it was March 8th of 2000. No, excuse me, March 5th of 1998. I stood in front of you and the rest of the band Creed, and I thanked you guys for saving my life a year after my mother was murdered. And here's the thing, man. I stood in that front row of the graffiti club, and I watched Moist, and then I watched Fuel, which I got the opportunity to open up for Fuel last year, and it was a dream come true for that, man. And I just felt it was one step closer to my goal of hanging out with you again on stage, though, this time. But also, when you joined that stage, when you guys got on that stage on March 5th, 1998, something happened in my life. I felt as if I was the only one in the room, man, and that you were speaking directly to me. And when you sang the very song that saved my life, "What's This Life For," man, you reached down in the crowd and you cupped my hand and you gave me that. Now every time I'm on stage, this is what I wear, man. It's a symbol of my strength. It's a symbol of my belief. It's a symbol of never giving up. And I can't thank you enough for giving me this gift, man. For showing me the way of love, and to show me to let go of the hate, and to introduce me to a loving God. Because of you, I know now that I have to dedicate my whole life to Jesus Christ and give my heart and my soul to everybody around me. The lessons you've taught me have taken hundreds of people off of heroin. Hundreds of people. And when I say hundreds, I mean hundreds. If you read my hat, it says the Dare to Prevent. It's an organization that I started to get kids off of drugs, to educate our youth not to even take drugs to begin with. Because of you, I was able to reach out to so many. And I hear every day how, "James, you saved my life. James, you're such an inspiration." But people look at me and through the health. On March 8th of 2011, I underwent brain surgery, and I had a device right here put in my chest, and it's wired up and it's hooked to my vagus nerve system, I think it's called. And what it does is it gives me a charge to my brain every 5 minutes, a 30-second charge, and it protects me from the seizures that I had from brain damage, and brain damage that I suffered from this very same person that took my mom out of the world, And it was through that decade of suffering through this illness that you really helped me a lot, and I didn't even see you too much in that decade that I was going through the things I was going through, man. I saw you one time in the reunition of Creed of 2009. And once again, I remember standing in the crowd. I didn't get to see you that night, but I remember standing in the crowd and tears just flew out of my face, because once again I was in my very same crowd that I've joined in many times. Every time I'm in a Creed show and I'm in one of your shows, man, everybody around me just seems like my brother and my sisters, and I feel so connected to the world when I'm in that crowd, man. And I just gotta tell you, man, from the bottom of my heart, thank you, because that decade of hell, while we was trying to figure out what was wrong with me, and we was trying to figure out what caused it, and we was trying to figure out how to fix it, this, that, and the other. There were so many times, man, that I was ready to give up, you know, and I didn't have the strength in me anymore. And especially when I walked with a cane, it was terrible for me. It really was. And you know, people turned their back on me, and there were so many whispers because I didn't look sick, but I was sick, and nobody believed me. So I literally walked this earth with only one person beside me, and that was my father. And other than my father, all I had to do was put on my CD player and listen to you. And remember that night you told me, right after handing me this, you told me, never forget this. And that's why, sir, that I'm still here today. You know, we give all the credit to Jesus Christ, and I do. I really, truly do, man. I give everything to Jesus Christ. But, man, there's got to be a time in your life you got to accept your thank yous. Because it was your voice, your heart, and your spirit that pulled me out. And I know, Scott, that there's millions of people around me. There's millions of people through this world that look at you and feel the same way I do. Because you've helped so many. You're a true gift, man. And I don't care if people see this video and they want to ridicule me and say stuff about me. I don't care, man. The fact is this is from me to you. Anybody else's opinions on this video, if they see them, because I have to go through YouTube in order to get it to you. So, you know, whoever sees it, if they have a problem with it or they want to get a good laugh at it, that's fine. That's fine with me, because I'll tell you something. I am a lucky son of a bitch. Excuse my language. Because if it wasn't for you coming into my life, I wouldn't even be here. Me and my father had a conversation just the other day about you and about what you've done for us. And tears grew up in my dad's eyes, and I seen the tears fall. And all he could say was, thank God for Scott Stapp. Thank God for what he did for you, James. See, what my dad couldn't do, you did. You know? And you're my spiritual brother. And, you know, on September 9th, when we took that picture together, and then I started to walk away, and you're like, whoa, come back here, man. Let's do a rock and roll picture, man. Come on, man. Let's rock out. And then we took that picture, you know. I cherish that picture, Scott. I cherish that day. You know, when you told me, when I apologized for my language on my CD with All's Gone, and you know, it says F you so many times. And you told me not to apologize, to let it out, and that's exactly what I do. You know, every song I've written is to make a difference in somebody's life. You know, I'm speaking language to people that they're speaking themselves. You know, heartbroken people that's committing suicide left and right, and that's a prevention we have to go through to make sure that we don't lose our youth over not thinking clearly. And that's who I'm speaking to. You know. I took it from you, man. You've taught me so much. And it's through your kindness, like I said before, your heart, your spirit, that has reached out to so many people. I know what it's like, man. You get in a band, I read your book, you know, you just wanted to be that rock and roll, man, just like Jim Morrison and Doors. You wanted to be that guy. You know, you wanted to be the rock and roll band, and you make millions of dollars. Well, you did that, you know what I mean? But there's something that happened along the way, Scott, that I'm sure you see. You know, you went from being this rock and roll star, you know, this rock star, to being an inspiration, to being this person that people used as a tool to survive. I'm one of those people. I'm not crazy, and I'm not a stalker, you know what I mean? I'm your friend. I'm your brother. Every time I've seen you, you've treated me with nothing but respect and love. You've given to me time and time again. And the only way I know how to repay you is to take that stage every single time. To not let my illness and my problems defeat me. Every time I step on that stage, it's in dedication to you, my friend. It's to show you that your words work. You've introduced me to so much, a life of love that nobody's ever done. You've accepted me like no other. And on behalf of me and the millions around the world that you've affected, I want to take this opportunity to thank you once again, my friend. You, Scott, are needed. And I'm looking forward to your new album. I really am. There's a thing that's in your book, and you asked the question, how can I relinquish the darkness? And I remember when I read that one sentence, it was weird, because the whole time I was reading the book, I was listening to your songs. And at that very same time that I read how can I relinquish the darkness, I actually heard, I was listening to What's This Life For, and at the same exact moment that I read that sentence, I heard the very verse of What's This Life For, where you handed me the ring. Tears flew. I mean, I cried, man. I'll be the first to admit it, and I'm not ashamed to admit it. I cried because even through your words on a piece of paper, I felt the connection between you and I. And I felt that, man, this guy really understands. This guy truly has lived a life that can connect with me when I felt so alone for so long. There was a reason why every time I was completely alone and in my personal hell, that when I popped in your CDs, I felt better. So once again, Scott, thank you. Thank you for everything you've ever done, man. And I hope to God I get the chance to share the stage with you at least one time before the day the good Lord takes me home. And I know, and if I don't, that's fine. I also look forward to getting to see you in concert again and hanging out with you like we always do, man. Every time I'm at a show, all but one show I didn't get to hang out with you. But other than that, all the other shows that I've ever been to, I've hung out with you, and I've sat next to you, and you've always treated me with such kindness and love and respect. And I hope to repay the favor one day, somehow, man. And I hope me defeating everything that I have against me, and illness, and the obstacles I have trying to hold me back, and the demons trying to pull me down back into the fire. I hope by every time I step on that stage and I defeat all those obstacles, that it's a payment to you and everything you've done. Scott, on behalf of me and the millions around the world, we love you, and we respect you, and we thank you, my man. Thank you so much for everything you've ever done for me. I love you, man. You're my brother. We've always said it. When we're face to face, we say, love you. So I'm going to leave you with I love you. And I'm going to leave you with one more thing. Take your new CD and rock the hell out of it, man. Show the world what you have. The best is yet to come, my friend. I know it in my heart, and I'm looking forward to it. You keep fighting the good fight, my man. God bless you. God bless all your family. Till next time, my brother. Love you.